Not safe in South Africa. This we already know. But now they may be in danger while using public transportation. There's a growing trend where criminals pose as taxi drivers or passengers. Now women are attacked and robbed, sometimes at gunpoint. So let's find out exactly what are we seeing from Seugnette van Wyngaard, who is the head of First for Women's Insurance. Thank you so much, Seugnette, for your time this morning. I mean, sheesh, this sounds absolutely scary. No longer is the criminal out there, but now they're within the public transportation system that you need to get to work or school, wherever it is that you need to be at. What is actually happening, and how are how are these criminals actually getting access to the vulnerability of these women?
So yes, Faith, and thank you for having me. And you're right, 56% of our population is using public transport, and the majority that is women. So what is emerging at the moment is, I suppose, as legitimate taxi operators, sometimes in unmarked taxis, and sometimes making use of an accomplice, posing as a co-driver or a fellow passenger to give them a better chance of overpowering their victims. So
yeah, Seugnette, I do believe that I know that there's a little bit of a load shedding where you are at, so we'll try to establish a better signal for us, Seugnette. I do believe that you are back. Let's try that again. I know that we seem to be breaking a little bit in connectivity, but let's try it again. You were saying that a lot of these criminals are posing as legitimate taxi drivers.
That's correct. Faith, I hope you can hear me now.
Much better. It's much better.
Yes. Great. Yes, so they do pose as legitimate taxi operators, sometimes in unmarked taxis, and sometimes they make use of an accomplice, posing as a co-passenger to give them a better chance to overpower their victims. So what they do is they will normally ask where passengers wants to go. They will take the fare and start the trip, and then during the trip they will proceed to rob the passengers, sometimes at gunpoint. It further into physical attacks, and unfortunately even rape cases has been reported.
Sheesh. But then here's the thing, Seugnette, I would really ask in terms of how is it that a woman can best protect herself? Do they travel in groups and using public transportation? But also what we're finding is that even in a group setting, or even where women are have decided to travel in a partnership, they're two women instead of one woman, the same has actually happened.
You're right, Faith, and yes, we can't necessarily remove the fear from the equation, but we can at least try and empower ourselves with please don't travel alone at night. Travel in pairs or even a small group, because it does help to have safety in numbers. Make use of public transport that you know. Don't get into an unmarked taxi. Look markings that you would see on the bus that you would normally use, and keep your valuables out of sight, and let someone know that you are en route so that they can look out for you. And then I think most important, while in no circumstances, please don't ever fall asleep. Keep awareness of your surroundings and have emergency numbers available, so should you be in danger that you're at least able to make a call.
Yeah, Seugnette, we have to leave it here. Unfortunately, I know that we're struggling a little bit with the signal, but I mean, this is something that we need to take forward. I mean, with women who are falling prey to, transport or taxi drivers or taxi operators that are posing as legitimate, and these are criminals that are posing as legitimate taxi operators. Number one, it doesn't do very well for the taxi industry, right? It gives them a bad name. And number two, more than anything else, the naivety of many of us, who utilize public transportation. Sometimes you never just know. You never know that the taxi that you're going into is actually a taxi full of criminals just waiting to attack. But I think we will be able to take this forward. Just a pity there about the connectivity. But Seugnette van Wyngaard, who's the head of First for Women Insurance, I think it's a big warning out there, especially for people that are using public transportation, ladies especially. It's more than anything else, criminal elements, especially in Gqeberha as well as KwaDukuza. I'm hearing that that's where the recent cases have actually taken place. So just be aware, don't go into a taxi that is perhaps unmarked, but more than anything else, make sure that somebody knows that you're in a taxi once you're inside of it. But let's move